this video, I'll show you In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Friday broadcast, joined by Aaron and myself. So glad you guys can join us. Please say hi if when you make it to the chat, and we look forward to interacting with you guys.
Yeah, we got lots of different things. We got some games. We got some devotional time. We have our video challenge. So lots of fun things coming your way. And we want to be able to chat with you too in the chat. So be sure to talk in there, and we can talk back and forth and use that for the games as well.
Yes. So we usually kick off talking about the last week's video challenge. And this last week, I had actually made a mistake. We always choose a brand new challenge from a list of things, and I tried to mark down which ones we've done and which ones we haven't. And we ended up doing one for the second time. But that's okay. Only one person had done it the first time we announced it. It was early on. And so everyone participated, including the first participant, which was Caden Workington. And so he has made a new and improved one. But maybe we'll just start off with his original one to check it out. And so obviously for that week, this one had won, but this week it does not count because it's a previous week's video. So let's check this out. Just let me add it to the screen here.
I need help. Help, somebody. Help. Anybody. Help. I can't hold on anymore. Can't.
It would be impressive if that actually was 2 minutes later. I don't know if it is.
Yeah.
But.
It was that just, a little quick editing, or is that really 2 minutes?
Right.
The thing I remember us being impressed by the first time was there was a level of danger to it, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't just a foot off the ground.
Nope.
And, you never know how sturdy a pair of pants are. So you're putting some trust into that.
It's true. Yes. I'd pick brand name pants, I think.
Yes, yeah. And ones that aren't too old,
That's right. Yeah. So we're going to start off with this week's videos, all right? So that one does not count for the voting. And let us know also in the comments what you guys think your favorites are. So we're going to start with this one. This one is called The Plant with a question mark at the end. So The Plant, let's see it.
First things first, I'm going to go to my room and grab some pants. So which ones? I'm going to take these ones. Now I'm going to lay them on the ground so you can see what I'm going to be using. Now that you know what I'm using, I'm going to go to my yard and find the dirt. I need dirt for this project. Here's the dirt I'm going to be using. Let's fill the pants with dirt. Here's me filling the pants with dirt. There's seeds. Plant the seeds. 5 days later, I grew this plant. This plant is definitely not fake or store-bought. Definitely a real plant. Now that the pants are full of dirt, though, I have to throw them out. Sad.
Was that fast forward, or can she actually talk that fast?
I think she was talking that fast, trying to get
It
that
sounded really well.
to get under the 20
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah,
I like
wow.
the clarification. Yes, this is definitely a real plant.
yes, exactly. Well, it'd be so much easier if it was a fake plant.
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah, fast
But
growing though.
I know,
My
5
goodness.
days, hey, and it's already that tall.
Huh? The sun must be brighter. I think she is a little bit further. Yeah, let's see. She's further south than me, and you as well.
And,
so maybe things grow better that way.
And pants, they probably magnify the sun, add some warmth.
That's
So
right, yes,
It's
yes.
probably the pants mostly.
Yeah, probably. Okay, well done. I really enjoyed that, and I was really impressed with just the speed of the content that she packed into 20 seconds.
Yeah, for sure.
Really well done, Jessica. Very impressed. All right. For the second one, we're going to go back to Caden. This one is called Extraordinary Soccer Pants.
Okay.
Aha. See those 4 dots always above him?
Oh, yeah.
And now something drawing. Oh, I know what that is. Never mind. Okay, well done.
Very talented pants.
Yes, well done. I was quite impressed. It was quite clean. I remember the first time he did some of this video editing.
Yeah.
If you remember with this motorcycle, there was kind of it was really grainy in the areas they cut out. But this one, I thought it was pretty close to perfect.
Yeah.
The little dots and the shape that you saw above, I actually know the software he's using. And because unless you pay money, they throw that little watermark thing, but they let you try out the features.
Right.
So that's what that is. That's not his fault. It's just
the watermark. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just was too cheap to buy the professional version, which is very expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. But yeah, I did enjoy that. I thought it was neatly cut off. Another one we have here. This one is just called Youth Video. Do you have a better name for this, Aaron?
Well, I kind of introduced it at the start, so so we'll go with that.
It needs no introduction, guys.
This is how you put your laundry away.
All right, just let me get the volume a little higher. I don't think you guys can hear it in the headphones. Let me try that.
This is how you put your laundry away.
Nice. Well done.
If you couldn't hear that, I was saying this is how you put your laundry away.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of a tutorial video for you guys. If you didn't know you should be putting your laundry away that way, just wherever you're at,
didn't.
when you have a pair of pants that you need to change or something, you just make the shot into the laundry basket. So if I was just happened to be outside, need to put some laundry away. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, what circumstance were you outside with a spare pair of pants that you wanted to put in the laundry?
Well, you may have noticed those were quite a bit smaller than the pants I would wear because they were toddler pants. Ooh. And, toddlers, when they're playing outside or different things, they get messy or they have an accident.
Change them outside.
So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just
I understand.
take the pants off, throw it right into the hamper.
Uh-huh. Very good job. It reminded me of this YouTube channel called Dude Perfect.
Yes,
If you guys have I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's a very famous channel, but they do this kind of thing all the time. Mm-hmm. Very well done. All right, and the last one that we're going to show is called Where Pants Come From.
Why don't I tell you the story about where your pants came from? Aw, baby pair of pants. There you go, mommy.
There we go. There's the origin story.
I like that you even filled the pants in to give them more that whole look. Yeah.
Yes. It actually had to do with laundry like yours,
Yeah.
We had just had this whole load of laundry that wasn't folded yet, right?
Yeah.
So I could just wreck it and just stuff it in there.
Nice.
So, that's my version there. Yes, and that was me lying to my daughter already. Now there's video evidence. This is not good.
Not even a year yet, and you're already lying.
Exactly. All right. So I cannot vote for my own. Aaron cannot vote for his.
Yeah, so it's literally impossible for us to actually win. We could only tie with someone.
Exactly.
So for myself, I'll start off, and I am going to vote for Jonathan's. I laughed pretty hard at that. I like the concept of it. So that will be what I'm going with.
All right. Awesome. Glad I could. Yeah. So
now you feel a little shame. You're like, if I don't vote for Aaron.
I got to vote for Aaron.
You don't have to vote for me. It's okay.
I did like his. What I liked most about Aaron's was it reminded me of Dude Perfect, which is professional.
And they have like 56 million subscribers. So
and they do.
If it reminds you of that, then that's kind of an achievement.
Yeah. Now I do like the way that Jessica, with her rapid speech, I really like that. I definitely enjoy it. It reminded me of going to an auction, where those people, I don't know, there must be a school for how to speak that fast. And then Caden's, I really liked just the video editing aspect of it. And he really upped his game from the last time on that. But I think I got a vote between Jessica's and Aaron's. And it's a tough one. To me, this is really close to a tie. I really did like both. Yeah. Now, can you tell me, Aaron, was there video editing? Was that the same shot? Did you have two cameras simultaneously going and you stitched it, or am I seeing two separate things?
So I did have two cameras going, but the final shot I used was a different shot. Ooh. Just because for the ease of editing, then I was like, you know what, I don't want it on two devices, so I did take the easy way out.
Okay, because that's going to be the deciding factor,
Yeah.
and now I've got to go with Jessica, because but if that was one continuous shot,
Yeah.
because see, for me when I watch like Dude Perfect, if they are doing camera editing and CGI tricks,
sure.
now I no longer care.
Yeah.
But because it's real, I care.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, I lost the care aspect on the
For
editing
sure.
end.
I did have 2 cameras rolling. I had one in my hand literally as I threw it.
Yeah.
But just for the ease of
Sure,
editing, I
sure.
did
Yes.
change shots.
And I did the same thing with my phone. I just hit pause, and no
Yeah.
editing needed. It was quite simple. So, Caden, I think probably spends the most time on
for sure.
that is my guess. But well
Well, you
done,
don't know how
everyone.
many tries it took me to make that shot, so
You're supposed to say it was just one.
yeah, just one.
Yes.
I actually was surprised. It was only 5 tries. I took out about
Okay.
8 pairs
That's
of
not
pants
bad.
and
Yeah.
put them in a bag so that I had multiple tries. And I couldn't see the hamper, so I just
Right,
kind of had to go
right.
off where it was.
That's
And the
impressive.
wind was blowing hard, so I had to throw it about 1.5 feet to the right because it was going to
Ooh.
blow it left. So I threw all 8 pairs of pants and then went back in and watched the video. And I
Yeah.
actually made 2 of the 8 shots. The 5th and the 7th went in.
Okay.
So yeah,
Good for
not
you.
too bad odds for the
Yeah.
circumstances.
Did you get feedback? Like, was your wife saying, "Oh, hit or miss," or were you just guessing?
No, they were out
whole
front
time?
playing, so then I just thought I'll throw all 8. Hopefully
Yeah.
I get some in. If not, I'll gather them all, go back out for another round. But, yeah.
And it was a good shot. I mean, it wasn't just like part of it went in and it kind of hung over the edge of the basket. It went
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
So well done. All right, so that's the video challenge for this week. Thanks for participating, and thanks, Caden, for repeating again. Caden says he has a secret to tell about this last video. So
Okay.
actually, let's just quickly, this is a previous week. So hold on a sec. This is the start of it. Now, I'll just let you know, Aaron, there might be, I think there's 2 things going on. He claims that he drops onto a trampoline.
Oh.
Okay, but I'm looking and I'm assuming there's no trampoline where he's going to fall. So my guess is it might have been 2 minutes. He might have involved his family and moved the trampoline under. Because
Okay.
do you think the trampoline could be there
Right now?
right now?
No.
I don't think
It's
so.
it's off camera for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So he might actually be up there for a couple minutes.
Help anybody.
And
I can't
because that
hold
would,
on
not, looking
anymore.
at that, that's quite a drop.
Yes.
It is. It is. Let's see if we hear it.
Or if you see the bounce up a little bit. No, he cuts it off quick.
Oh, he ends it just in time. Okay. Well done. That was smart thinking. I had just assumed that was a tough landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, never even thought about that, but that makes sense.
Nice.
Well done. Okay, so we're going to start off. Aaron, we want to introduce
Yeah.
your first game.
So we're going to do a couple games. First game is called 5-second movie summary. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a little summary of a movie, and you're going to have to try to guess which movie that is based on that summary. And so a few tips, hints for this. The movies I used were all animated movies. So think like Disney, Pixar, those type of movies. They're all that style of movie, so it narrows it down a lot for you. And I tried to make these a little vague, right? I didn't want it to be really easy, so I didn't use any names. I didn't use really precise details. I left them vague. So just so you kind of know to look a little deeper than what's there and kind of think,
Sure.
what could this be? So yeah.
Ready for the
we'll,
first?
yeah, we'll go with the first one here. The first one I made it nice and easy for you guys just to kind of get us ready. So a mule follows a swamp-dwelling creature on an adventure. So think animated movie, and let us know in the comments what you think it is.
Yeah. I would
Now-
say that growing up, I think we mostly didn't watch animated. I think
Right.
the majority of the movies were not animated that I watched. At least that's what my memory tells me. And so I'm going to be terrible at this. I'm just letting you know right
Okay.
off the start.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, maybe animated movies are just so much more prevalent, or maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I'm out of the loop on some of these.
Okay. So yeah, this is
But a mule. Okay. Just based on mule, I think I have an idea.
yeah.
But I don't know many mule movies, so that's
So and here's kind of where the hint comes in, right? I'm trying to be vague because if I maybe use the exact right thing, you'd know exactly what it was. So I do kind of, make these a little vague on purpose. So no guesses
All
yet.
right.
Oh, wait, here we go.
Caden thinks it's The Mule. Is that a
Mule?
movie? I don't know of this movie.
I don't know of a movie. There's like a newer one that we watched a lot at Christmas time with Cameron that was based on like a donkey mule
Sure.
type, but it was called The Star, I believe, and it was about the birth of Jesus as told by this donkey.
Okay. There's probably a movie about Eeyore.
Yeah.
Would there be a dedicated movie about him?
There,
Or would it just be Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore appears in it?
He would be a hard character to make a
he
dedicated movie towards.
I think it would be too sad for children if that was all the movie was about.
Oh, we got a message from Samuel. They're not around today, he says.
Okay. That's unfortunate. Well, thanks for sending your video to us.
You bet. All right, so we'll hit the button. We'll reveal our first movie. It was, or unless you have a guess for us first.
Oh, no.
Too late now.
Too late.
So this is the movie Shrek. So what it is and it's actually a donkey, but his character name is Donkey. So I didn't want to go with Donkey. I thought that was going to be a little too much of a hint.
Yeah.
And and so Shrek is an ogre or a swamp-dwelling creature, and they have to rescue a princess.
That I didn't know. I was thinking about that donkey, but I couldn't remember the name. I've never seen this movie before. So.
Okay. All right, number 2. A girl rebels against her father's wishes and makes an ill-advised deal to find true love.
Sounds very much like lots of Disney movies.
I'll give some hints too if we need them.
There's so many Disney princess movies that I think this could fall into.
Right.
But I'm trying to find that one detail that would explain which one it is.
Okay.
Samuel's guessing The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Okay. I was thinking, I don't know. I don't know if Rapunzel, maybe. Rapunzel, or actually, there's a much newer movie. I'm blanking on the name. But it's the, has that Let It Go song in it.
Oh, Frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
Right.
I think it's Frozen. That's my guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say with that one, there's a few elements that this has that wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that there's a deal necessarily made. Like that's one of the parts that you should key in on, and then also the father's wishes. I think those are the
Samuel
two.
says Brave or Little Mermaid.
Maybe. Yeah. So let's hit the button there and find out. And in fact, he is right. It is the Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
So her father doesn't want her going on land, but she makes a deal to have legs and be on land to find true love. So nice work, Samuel.
I have actually seen the newer version of this. It wasn't a cartoon.
Right.
It was a different one.
All right. Number 3. 2 enemies must put aside their differences to not get left behind by their owner.
Huh.
So there's a couple hints in there too.
Man. I have a few ideas. When I see owner, I'm thinking animal.
Right.
I'm assuming Disney isn't going to deal with non-animal and that ownership.
Right.
So I'm going with that. Yeah, and I'm trying to think of animal movies. Man,
Caden says these are too hard for him.
They're too hard.
I did try
They
to
might
make
not
my
be Disney
I tried to
movie.
make my games a little harder than the previous time that I was doing games.
Well done.
Because I found that I had them too easy, and then everyone got them like nothing.
Yeah.
So this one's a little on the harder side, I would say. I could give some hints to this one as well.
I feel like if the Rajus were in the channel, I'd go with them on everything.
They would have these.
I just have the feeling that they would just ace this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know. I was thinking about but it just doesn't work. I was thinking about the Wizard of Oz, but there's no owner really in it.
Right.
Like there's the wizard, but
So this one
work.
is an older one. Like, it's not really old, but
Is
it
it-
would be in the 90s.
Okay. There's a movie about two dogs and meatballs.
Oh, yeah, Lady and the
That's
Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp. I don't know if they were ever enemies, but I
Yeah,
can't think of
would
anything
be,
else.
That would be the one thing that, they might add owners and different things, but it's the,
Yeah.
the enemies part. So let's,
Exactly.
I don't think we
know.
have.
Oh, we got 101 Dalmatians is what
Oh, okay.
Samuel's thinking of.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess.
And they are there animal enemies in there? I think all the animals banded together.
Other than like Cruella DeVille, but she wouldn't.
Right.
She wouldn't
She
have to.
wasn't.
Yeah, she wasn't working with them at any point.
Yeah. Huh.
All right,
I don't
let's-
know.
Yeah, let's reveal this one.
Okay.
It is Toy Story.
Ah.
So Woody and Buzz Lightyear
Yeah.
started off as enemies because they were jealous for their owner's attention.
Okay.
Andy was his name, and they ended up having to work together because Andy was moving, and they didn't want to get left behind from the moving truck.
Okay. I
yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah,
All right.
classic Pixar movie.
Yeah. Okay. This is the To Infinity and Beyond
Yes.
movie, right? Okay. Good. Here's the next one.
A father tries to relive his glory days, but must rely on his family when he meets his match. So, hint on this one. This
Man.
one is not as old. It's not from the 90s. It would even be, I think the original one is like 2010
Okay.
or later. I could it's close to in there, so just to give a little hint on this one.
Okay. Kane says he's never seen any of these movies. It really depends, and I don't even know if the Rubinos were on the chat to, their knowledge and stuff.
Yeah, my thought was
man,
that the
this
animated
is
would
tough.
be pretty widely viewed, but
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Movies everyone has their own preferences, and there's so many of them, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's tough to know.
I would highly recommend like Toy Story.
Yeah?
It's
Okay.
It's a movie that I've really enjoyed.
Are there are a few Toy Stories, right?
I
At
think
least
there's
3?
4 of them.
4?
Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen the last couple, but definitely
Okay.
the first 2 I'd seen. The first 2 came out like pretty like close to together
Hmm.
and kind of in my childhood, and then
Mm-hmm.
the other ones were a little later on.
Okay. Father trying to relive his glory days. Yeah, I can't think of anything. I'm drawing a complete blank here. Can you give us a hint or
All right,
anything?
the hint would be I have one hint, but it seems like it's giving away too much, but maybe I'll just say it. So this
We
family
got Back to the Future, Kane thinks.
Okay.
I don't know, is that Disney? Probably not,
no,
eh?
and that one wouldn't be animated. It's older, but it's
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's not
live
animated.
action. So this family has more than normal abilities, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. I think I know which one we're talking about. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me. They're not Wonder Family, but there's something. It's some name like that.
Yeah.
Where the wife is really stretchy, the man is strong.
Yeah, you got it for sure.
Something like that. I know what they're called. The Incredibles. Yeah, there we go. Samuel just beat me to it. Well done.
You
I'm
bet.
pretty sure that's it.
Yeah, it is the Incredibles.
Yes.
So the father, their superpowers, they
Hmm.
weren't supposed to be using them, but the father wanted to, do this one last mission, but he fell into the trap of a evil mastermind, and his family has to come and rescue him.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a couple of those movies as well.
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
similar type ones for sure. All right, a son and his friends return to take back what is rightfully his.
Nothing is immediately coming to mind with this one.
So I would say focus one on the son. He's someone's son.
Okay.
And he has something that's rightfully his. Definitely those would be the 2. And even the returning part, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely some clues in there. I'll give another hint on this one. It is an older one.
Okay.
It's not in the last, 15 years, but definitely a classic.
Okay. And his friends. Man. This is tricky. Okay, Samuel thinks it's Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
Not a movie I've seen before.
might have the similar thing, but think older than that.
Older.
Classic.
Okay, The Lion King.
Classic movie.
There we go. I like that answer. I think
It does
that's
meet the
it.
criteria. Let's hit the button there and see. Yes,
Yeah,
it
well
is The
done.
Lion King. So
Good job.
the son, after his father's killed, leaves. He meets Timon and Pumbaa, and he comes back to take his father's kingdom back.
Okay. This was Brianna was answering that one. Brianna likes Disney.
Nice.
She's an expert at it compared to me. And this is one of her favorite movies, actually.
Yeah.
So actually, when we started dating, she discovered that I had not seen Lion King, at least that I can remember. And so we had to do that as a date night once.
Okay, nice.
She felt she could not date me unless I did. So I had to meet her requirements to
Yeah.
keep her around.
It's probably the most well-known of the animated movies, I would say.
Yeah.
Or very close to it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. One small child goes where no human has gone before, and an unlikely duo must get her back home. So this one's a tricky one. I feel like this one is going to stump people. So I already want to think of some hints for it.
At first, when I hear one small child goes where no human has gone before, that first sentence sounds to me like Mowgli, like the Jungle Book.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because that seems to fit, but then an unlikely duo, and it's a her getting her back. And so it just doesn't fit at all anymore.
Okay, we got two guesses. We got the Jungle Book and we got Inside Out. Jungle
Okay.
Book, like same along with you. It's a good guess because definitely the first part meets it, but the
Yeah.
other two don't as much.
No, it's not a her for sure. Inside Out, it's kind of that's all about what happens inside your mind, right? No person actually goes anywhere in that movie.
It's like based on the
Emotions
person's
and stuff.
emotions and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, not that one either. So let's see a hint. So the unlikely duo, if this might already be an obvious, they are not human. So they're right, and they're trying to get her home because she has come into their kind of world / situation, and she wasn't supposed to be there. But they often travel into the humans one. And if we need, I'll give just a second.
That's a toughie.
But I'll give a hint on that.
Okay, Samuel thinks it's Monsters Incorporated.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I like
so
that.
if you hit that, it is Monsters Incorporated.
Well done.
So yeah, they go into the children's world to scare them. They're the monsters underneath the bed.
Yeah.
And she comes back with them through the door that they go back and forth, and they have to catch her and bring her home.
Yeah. In this picture, it looks like that round guy. I don't know. What's his name?
Mike Sullivan, I think.
Okay. He must have incredible strong legs for being so pencil thin.
But can hold up the big guy.
Bending them and holding up this big guy. So anyways, that's amazing.
Yeah, very
All
strong.
right. Here's the next one.
All right. Ready to set sail on the trip of his dreams following a tragedy, the main character realizes his worst fears have come true. He has a stowaway. So this one I thought could be a tricky one, but I gave a lot of detail here. I did one kind of wording change to try to trip people up, but there's a lot of detail here. I think we'll have some ones get it. This is a more recent movie. I will give that tip. Within probably the last 10 years for sure.
He has a stowaway. So it's not he is a stowaway.
No.
It's he has one.
you
So
could-
he's the captain of the ship.
You could argue that I'm saying the main character. You could argue that the main character I'm referencing and the stowaway is also a main character within this.
Okay.
But
I'm seeing two people, my wife and Samuel, are both saying Treasure Planet. And I don't know that movie. I know Treasure Island.
I know Treasure Island too. I don't know Treasure Planet either.
Okay.
So it's definitely not Treasure Planet.
Okay. I've never even heard of Treasure Planet.
So I'll give this hint. The set sail was the part to try to trip you up. This does not happen on water at all.
Because I was thinking
But he is
Mona.
still sailing away, in a sense.
I was thinking of, is it Moana?
Okay,
Like for
yeah.
the first part, again, it worked. But then what stowaway are we talking about?
Right.
Yeah. And it's not Jonah and the Whale. I don't think Disney did that one, did
Samuel cannot believe we have not seen Treasure Planet.
they? Huh. Yeah.
No,
is it a spinoff of Treasure Island? That's kind of the only.
So
I don't know.
Caden is on the right track here. He's asking if if they're flying, and I will confirm they are flying.
Oh.
So they're not
Okay.
sailing on
Yes,
the ocean,
yes.
they're sailing through the air.
Would I be right in assuming that smaller versions of these float unintentionally in the hands of children?
Yes, you would.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I think I know this one. Samuel's guessing Tinkerbell, and according to my guess, that would be wrong.
It is not Tinkerbell, no.
Okay. Okay.
I think once we say it, a lot of them will be like, "Oh, I can't believe I didn't get that." Like,
Yeah.
think about this.
Isn't there a fancy big bird in there?
flying through the air? Yeah, there is. And think about the tragedy, right? This has a very
Yeah.
moving scene within it
Hmm.
that many people reference and kind of.
Yeah. It's really a good movie for Boy Scouts. Is that too
Yes.
big of a hint? I don't know.
No, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
We're,
Okay, Boy Scouts. Dumbo? No.
this one's stumping them. All right.
Yeah, I guess
Wait. Oh, we got our
he
first
does
guess. I was
fly.
gonna say, should we just go?
Oh.
But yeah. Brianna
Oh yes,
has
Brianna up.
it.
Well
It is
done.
up. Yes.
Yes.
So the
Good job.
tragedy, the main character's, I don't remember his name, but his wife dies, and so he wants to live his dream because he was a balloon salesman, and he wants to float away in his house by attaching many, many balloons to it. But his neighbor, who annoys him, who is a Boy Scout, as Jonathan referenced, stows away with him, and it's about their adventure.
That's
So-
a good thing the stowaway was along with for the trip. All right. Oh,
All right, and that was
That's
it
the
for that
end.
one, yes.
okay.
All right, we got another game for you. Don't worry, you don't need movie knowledge for the second game. It is all picture-based. If you remember 2 weeks ago, I played this picture game, so you'll see just a portion of a picture. So in this one, you're just seeing a
Okay.
very small portion of this picture, and you're going to have to guess what it is. The hint within this, I have a theme. The last time I did like people, this one is all animals.
Animals.
So
Okay.
that's a big hint. They're all going to be animals, but I'm not showing you near as much as I did last time
Yeah.
because everyone was getting them really easy last time. So I'm going to try to stump you guys a little bit.
Okay.
So let us know what animal you think this is. We already got our first guess. We
Yeah.
got rooster coming in from Caden.
Caden's pretty sure it's rooster. Lots of exclamation marks.
Type of
Brianna thinks
bird.
it's a type of bird.
Yeah.
I think it's a moose. I'm more Canadian than the rest of you guys, I guess. Type of bird. Everyone thinks it's a bird. I don't know. I think just because of the defined edges and not the feathery look to them and the fuzz, I'm seeing a slight halo around it. I don't know if that's the
Right.
photo, but that's, and it could be a deer, but I think the moose is the classic antler that I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And
All right,
Samuel's
see you,
got to go.
Samuel.
So, yeah, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining us for a bit.
Yes.
And so you can reveal it all. No
Hey,
one's got it
Brianna
100%.
thinks it's a
right.
deer. She
Okay.
thinks it's a deer.
So Jonathan was the closest.
So an elk. Is that what
That is actually a caribou.
Oh, caribou.
So
Okay.
they're within the same. They're all within the deer family, right?
Yeah.
Moose, elk, caribou, deer. But the difference here with the caribou is they have kind of a hybrid antler between a deer and a moose.
Okay.
So they still have some of the smaller tines to them,
Yeah.
like a deer, but they also do have some of the thicker, wider points in them,
Yeah.
like a moose too.
Interesting.
Because if you look at a moose's, they're much more solid, which is
Yes,
very
with a
small.
few points sticking out.
And then also with the caribou, they usually have a front antler coming out like this guy does. His is
Okay.
quite large.
Huh.
And that you wouldn't have known from my picture.
No.
I was just only showing you the end. So I wanted to be a little trickier with it, so I didn't go just straight moose.
And what about an elk? Do you know?
Yeah, so elk are there. They would have the longest tines of all of the deer family.
Okay.
And usually they have the largest like overall size of their antler rack as
Yeah.
well. They can get quite large.
Okay. Very cool. Tricky one.
All right, here we go on this one. Just giving you
Okay.
the eye.
I right away, just based on my gut, I'm gonna go owl.
Okay.
And okay, right away we're hearing from Brianna and
Owl.
Caden owl. We
Okay.
think it's owl. I'm seeing so obviously a big eye I'm seeing,
yeah.
and then feathers off to the right. But because of that 45-degree angle slash, you kind of when you see pictures of an owl, you have kind of those furrowed brows in the
Yeah.
middle, and that's why I think it's an owl and not any other bird.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's just they're confident it's an
Owl,
owl.
for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see what it is. Yes, it is an owl.
Nice.
I thought maybe I might get a few people saying cat, just because cats can have the
interesting.
yellow eyes as well.
Yeah.
And
But they're not so round, are they? They're
You're right, they're not. But I still thought I might get some.
Yeah,
But definitely, you guys had it right away.
well
with
done.
Owl.
Okay.
Nice
Kane
job.
thought maybe an eagle, but he'd already said owl.
Yeah, and like you said, it's definitely the like 45-degree angle on the eyebrow type area. Okay, so
This
this one
one.
is tricky.
Okay, I think I have an answer for this, but I'm going to just give it a
Oh
minute.
wow, we got another guess too already.
A koala. Okay.
Koala.
I was a koala again from Caden. Okay, I was going to say baboon. That's what I
Okay,
think
yeah.
it is. But I feel like there's a nose to the left side of it. That's what I'm looking at. And because I'm seeing that red stripe, I believe the baboon
Okay.
is known for red. That's
So
my guess.
before you click it there is a nose, but it's actually not what you're referencing.
Oh,
So
okay.
you
I'm seeing
can
something
click it
else.
whenever you're ready there, but yeah, there is a picture of the nose in there, but
Is there?
it's not off to the
Okay.
right.
Oh, interesting. Man, I'm not really seeing the nose then. Let's take a look, because I'm kind of seeing the bottom left.
Right.
It's the shadow underneath the nose that's what my mind is telling me, but obviously that's wrong. Okay, let me see.
So on the left,
Interesting.
that is the whole nose there.
That is the nose.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And I thought that
Well done.
I thought that
I
might
was
give it
wrong.
away because it's a very unique nose that
Yeah.
koalas have.
Yeah, well done.
So nice job, guys, in the comments.
Yeah. And that's a stick or something, hey? That
Yeah,
reddish part?
piece of bamboo
A
or something that
yeah.
it's kind of
Okay.
resting itself
Here
on.
I was thinking it's part of the animal. It's so red,
Right.
baboon, and
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, well done.
All right, this one is one of the trickier ones.
Hmm.
So I gave you about half of the animal here.
Okay.
So that's my hint. So you can kind of get your bearings of what you're seeing. You are seeing
Yeah.
the back half of an animal.
This one is tricky. Huh. Let's see. Somebody is saying a buffalo.
Buffalo, hey? Okay.
Okay. I'm seeing this bluish pattern. I don't think it's a buffalo. Buffaloes are all the same color anyway, usually, I think. But Kane thinks of some sort of buffalo, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Buffalo, muskox or something like that, which really,
be.
like that back end, like towards the very back, does
Yeah.
kind of have that resemblance like a muskox because their fur hangs down almost right to the ground, and this also is.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm having a
Not-
hard time.
I will
figuring
say
out
it
what
is
that
not a muskox or not a
isn't.
buffalo.
Okay.
Elephant, we also have guessed, but it's a tricky one. So, yeah, whenever you want to reveal that
I am
one,
not
it's-
sure.
I don't know if anyone's going to get it now.
At first, when looking at it, I thought maybe a bird. I'm seeing the
Okay.
bulrushes. I'm seeing kind of
Right.
random feathers. But then I was looking at it and going, I don't even think it is. So I have no clue at all. All right, let's take a look at the answer.
All right, it
an
is an
anteater.
anteater.
And
So-
that's its tail in the back?
Yeah, I guess so. That was one
And
thing.
it goes that low?
I was surprised
Wow.
that there was that much, right?
Huh.
To the tail. I thought about, like, I didn't want to give the head only because I thought that just give away way too much.
Yeah.
So I gave most
Yeah.
of the body except for the head, but still a tricky one for sure.
It's more vibrantly colorful than I realized an anteater would be.
Yeah, and maybe this is just a
interesting.
special one, but yeah, because
Yeah,
I've seen a
wow.
lot of like mostly brown ones.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I would not have known that. Very cool. All right.
All right.
Aha.
So we got
Let's
good portion
see.
of an animal here.
Yeah, so somebody's guessing cheetah right away.
Cheetah, couple guesses for sure.
Yeah. My first thought actually was giraffe, but then looking at it, I think this is furrier than
Right,
a giraffe, and so
right.
I would agree with them on cheetah.
Okay, so
what I
I am
think.
trying to stump you guys. So it's not
Okay,
cheetah,
it is not.
but it is patterned like a cheetah.
Okay.
Similar type of animal, but actually not within the cat family, if that makes sense.
Okay. That is tricky.
You guys need another hint? I can give you one more. It's actually the
Go for
opposite
it.
of the cat family. It would be within the
The
dog.
dog
family.
family.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of, okay, Caden's thinking giraffe. I'm thinking hyena. Yes, Brianna just wrote it down there. I think it's a hyena.
You guys got it. It is a hyena.
Well done.
So that's why I chose this one, because it had the spots.
Yeah.
And I knew it was like people are going to think,
Yeah.
cheetah, some type of leopard.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
you picked the
actually-
right part of the skin to be that yellowish
Yeah, exactly.
color. Yeah, well done. Okay.
All right.
Aha. I am seeing. What am I seeing? I wanted to say it was a bill, and then I thought, well, it could be a tail. So again, I have no idea. In my mind, a beaver has a thicker tail, but that sure looks like a beaver tail. And they're going with beaver as well. Brianna thinks it's a beaver. For some reason, I just thought it was thicker, but that sure does look like one. It looks too flat to be a beak, like what I was first thinking about.
Yeah.
They just aren't that flat. Some kind of bug. Okay, interesting.
So if
A
you
bug,
look,
so really zoomed in. But I'm
Yeah.
seeing, it almost looks like webbed feet.
right.
And obviously, that's not beaver, I don't think. Interesting. Maybe it is. I don't know. This one's
You
again
can,
too tricky
yeah,
for me.
hit
Somebody
that
says it's
button
a
and we'll see.
dragonfly. So they're seeing a wing. That's what they're
Okay.
seeing.
So you are seeing webbed feet, but if you hit the button there, it is a beaver.
It is. Okay, so it's just their front feet that
Yeah.
are more hand-like.
Yeah, so they can use them, grab
Yeah.
things, they can hold on to the
Right.
logs to gnaw on them, but they got those big, powerful back feet to be able
the
to
swimming.
really push that water. And then,
Yeah.
of course, the big tail that they use for alerting other beavers. And
Yeah. It's interesting. They can really flex that tail, like whatever joint it has, to put it like forward facing instead
Yeah.
of backwards.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
lot of
And they
flex
can
to
obviously
that.
lift it the other way too, quite a ways, to be able to slap the water so hard, right?
Yeah. Huh. Very cool.
Nice. Okay, I think we got two more if I remember correctly. So this one you're only seeing a small part of, but here's your hint, it is a small creature or animal.
Okay. It's just one animal, right?
Just one.
Because I almost thought I saw two yellow birds sitting on a stone. Do you,
You know
see
what?
that?
I can kind of see that too, yeah. But it's not. It
Okay.
is just one.
Okay, now I got to get that out of my mind.
We got a snake, a bug guessed.
Snake is, snake or bug. Could be a frog. I could see that
I got
too.
a couple more hints I can give, but I'll give people a second. Snake sounds right, they're saying. So this, think water for this
Think
one.
water, okay.
It's not something that's only in water. Like in this picture, it's not in the water, but it can
Yeah.
also be in the water.
So I like my frog answer.
Frog, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be a frog.
I'll say it's not a frog.
Okay, Brianna thought it was a frog as well.
Okay, so this
Huh.
this we're seeing kind of the underside, if that makes sense.
Okay. Maybe a turtle. I think it might be a turtle.
Turtle.
don't
That's
know. I
like
could see a
definitely
turtle
the-
there.
That's definitely the closest guess so far.
Okay.
Yeah, Caden saying turtle as well.
Yeah.
Same kind of
Caribbean.
protective mechanism, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
not quite a turtle.
Okay. When you said same kind of protective, I'm thinking porcupine, but that's not
Okay.
a water
No,
animal.
I'm thinking more the shell aspect.
The shell. Okay. Interesting. It looks way too big to be a snail kind of thing.
Right.
But what else would have a shell?
Armadillo, Caden saying.
An armadillo. Oh,
Which
interesting.
has the shell aspect for sure,
It
but
does.
I don't think so much of the water aspect. So this
Yeah,
thing
I don't know.
would live definitely in the water as much or more than it does on land,
Okay.
and has a shell.
I don't know if I don't think that's a giant crab, but that would kind of fit everything. It might be one. I don't know. Like I'm not seeing the important identifiers, which would
Right.
be on purpose, obviously. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what
So
I would go with.
I will say you did get it actually, but like
Okay.
I'd given the hint before, I'm
Yeah.
showing the underside. This is one, it's up on its back leg. So if you reveal it all here.
right. Brianna and Caden also were guessing this. There
Yeah.
we go.
So it's up on
Crab.
its back legs, but we're just seeing the underside
Yeah.
where the legs join and then up to the mouth area. That's
Very
all I was
neat.
showing that in the eyes.
When I was in Vancouver, I would go watch people sometimes on the wharf. And they would fish for crabs.
Oh, okay.
And they'd lower these little traps into the water, these
Mm-hmm.
metal traps, and then they'd pull them up later on, and there'd be a crab inside of it.
Nice.
And it was very cool.
Yeah, definitely a delicacy type seafood.
Yes.
All right.
It takes too long to eat, though. Like, if I'm at a buffet, that's the only place usually where I'm going, and they
Right.
have it. And would you rather load up your plate with all this awesome meats and potatoes and stuff, or are you going to spend 10 minutes
Digging
through some little bit of crab? And so
Yeah.
because of that, I rarely go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
We already got some guesses. We got actually some consensus in message board.
I
praying
agree with them.
mantis.
A praying mantis. I would agree.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
got it. You bet.
Were you trying to go for the cricket look with
I
this
was thinking maybe it might get people on that.
Yeah.
I thought if I cut off the whole upper body, it might fool some people because they kind of have a different look, right?
Yeah.
The bottom end is so thick and it skinnies right up. So I thought maybe you might get a few people, going the cricket route or something. But yeah,
Okay. Good job.
nice guessing. And then our last one here. This one
is a drawing. No?
no, it's a picture.
It is. Okay.
But well, it's maybe more of an animated picture, I guess, right?
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's drawn, but this one, wolf, coyote.
I'm seeing a tiger.
Yeah, I was gonna say it definitely is looking like a tiger to me as well. But
Yeah. A tiger with grass below. That's what
tiger.
I see.
Oh, Dallas is saying tiger.
Okay. Welcome, Dallas. A butterfly. Somebody's seeing a butterfly. Okay. I'm just seeing the ears off the side. Yeah.
So I
Could it be? No, I don't think it's a rabbit. Just because of that ear, it doesn't fit.
So yeah, for the
Or a cat. I could believe a cat.
okay, Caden says he has no idea. So Dallas is on the right track. It looks very much like a tiger. The only thing is, this is the last one, so I wanted to go with something a little trickier. So if you want to hit the button
Ooh.
there, this is not a tiger. It's actually a
What? That's
tie donkey.
Thai donkey.
So no, unfortunately, guys, like you thought it was a tiger. It wasn't. It's a half tiger, half donkey. Sorry. I know they're rare, but they're out there.
They're out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I look forward to going to the zoo with Adeline and
Yes.
finding these.
The nice thing about this was I didn't even have to do the editing.
Okay.
Somebody had already done it, and so I could just steal their picture and give it a name.
That's funny. What did they have a name for it, or you came up with this?
I don't think it did. What it was it was a website was comparing them. Like they were kind of saying like there's actually more similarities between a tiger and a donkey than you might think. And so I didn't read into it like what the similarities
yeah.
were, but
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a hilarious picture. All right. Well done. That was fun. Thanks for sharing that, Aaron.
You bet.
Dallas is saying was
The choice of truth. They're saying we should give it to Dallas.
Okay.
So you definitely had at least 50% on that. So in school you would have passed, but just barely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a lot of fun. So we're going to have a bit of devotions here. I am going to switch the camera feed. And just let me resituate this. There we go. All right. Hopefully this works. So we'll start off here with a verse. Hopefully you guys can see this. There we go. Throw it there at the bottom. So now we can actually read it. Up till now, just so you guys know, when we've been reading Bible verses off the screen, we haven't actually been fully seeing everything. And so we've straightened all that out. So what I wanted to point out here in this passage in Judges, and I know the text might be a little small, so hopefully you guys can see it, is here in Judges, it talks about a group of people who follow the Lord when Joshua was alive. And then if you look at the last two lines, it says, "And there arose another generation after them who did not know the Lord or the works that he had done for Israel. And the people of Israel did what was evil in the sight of and served the Baals." So here we have a group of Israelites who followed after God, had seen miracles, all sorts of stuff, and then their kids fell away and started worshiping false gods. And the Old Testament is filled with stories of people falling away from God. There's a radio preacher. He's actually deceased, but I think his radio program still goes on the air. His name is J. Vernon McGee. And he tells this story about when he was in seminary, in Bible school, and they had this Bible course that he was taking. And one of the tasks at the end of the course was to be able to list off all the kings of Israel and Judah and write them all out. So that involves a lot of memorizing, and they were told this ahead of time, so they knew that. And then beside each name, they had to write a short description, a summary statement about each and every king. So that's a huge task. And when they had gotten together, the students, and they had come up with the bright idea that if beside the name of every king, they wrote a bad king, they would get about 95%. And who doesn't want 95% on your test, right? So that's all they did for every king. They knew they would get 95% if they memorized all the names right. So, but yeah, there was lots of bad kings, people falling away from God and then coming back. A couple of years ago, I had 4 Mormons in my house. 2 of them were Mormon missionaries, and then I had 2 senior elders from Edmonton accompanying them. And so I had invited them into the house. We had a visit. We discussed what the gospel really is and what the true gospel is. And during the course of conversation, I discovered that the 2 elder Mormons, the senior ones, had actually grown up for most of their life in a church of the same denomination as we attend, so the Pentecostal church, and they had decided to fall away in favor of Mormonism. And it was really sad to see people who had were Christians and had fallen away, and now they're following a God who isn't a false God, who isn't a God at all. And quite a few years earlier, when I just started helping out with youth, and one of the youth had approached me, and I was a youth with them, like I hadn't graduated yet. And I remember them telling me, they asked me, first of all, I guess, my plans after graduation, and then they began to tell me all the things they were planning to do, how they were planning to basically rebel against everything Christian about them. And unfortunately, they weren't even planning on trying to follow God. They were looking forward to the freedom they would have as soon as they moved out and had graduated and that kind of thing. And so it was no surprise when they did do all those things and fell away from God. And they had claimed, at least to me, that they had never believed in Jesus in the first place. And, they were just going along with it. And so a very sad thing. And I hope and pray and I trust that all of you are not like that, that you really are wanting to pursue God. And in so many of you, I've seen that desire in you when we've met in person. And so I trust that none of you are like that. But all that being said, it's really important to make sure that we are following God. And even when we are really wanting to, and we have no desire to fall away, there are still important warnings in the Bible. So here in Deuteronomy 4:9 says, "Only take care and keep your soul diligent, lest you forget the things that your eyes have seen, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life. Make them known to your children and your fathers and your children's children." So, unfortunately, it is still possible that we fall away. And so there are warnings in the Bible saying, make sure that you keep your eyes on Jesus. Make sure that you don't fall away. In Matthew 26:41, Jesus is praying, and So here he's talking to the disciples, and he says, "Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." So again, a warning by Jesus saying, "Hey, make sure you keep on pursuing God. Don't grow lukewarm about it." And then in 2 Peter, it says, "You therefore, beloved, knowing this beforehand, take care that you are not carried away with the error of lawless people and lose your own stability, but grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. To him be the glory both now and forever, both now and to the day of eternity." So here again is a warning. And so what I wanted to tell you guys basically is don't quit pursuing God. Never stop pursuing him. In 1 Corinthians, Paul says that, "Don't you know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it." And in Hebrews 12, it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." So here again, the Bible's encouraging us that we need to keep pursuing God, that we need to take our faith in Jesus seriously and act on that relationship. So I have a relationship with my wife, but if I just kind of assume it and don't spend time with her, things like that, then things start to fall apart. And so the Bible wants us to continue to pursue that relationship with God and keep that relationship strong and healthy. I want to tell you guys a little bit about a man in the Bible. He's probably known by most of you as a Levite. And this man, the story is found in Judges chapters, I think it's 16 through 18, somewhere around there. You guys can find it yourself, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit of a summary of this story of the Levite. So this happened, it would have happened a few thousand years ago, and there was this woman living in a place called Ephraim, and one day a bunch of silver and stuff was stolen from her. And so she decided that the proper course of action, because she was mad, was to curse whoever stole it, only to discover that it was her son who had stolen all this silver from her. And so on hearing that, obviously not wanting to curse her son, she right away pronounced a blessing on him and said, "Not only do I bless you, but you can actually keep the silver." But she did have a requirement. She said, "I want you to take that silver and melt it down into an idol that we can have for our home." And her son, whose name was Micah, he agreed to this proposal. And so that's exactly what he did. And he was actually a father at this stage. He had some kids. And so he made his sons priests for this idol that he had made. And during this time, Judges chapter, let me see. I don't actually have the verse here. So anyways, in Judges 17 verse 6, it says that, and I'll just paraphrase it because I don't have it, but it says that the people did what was right in their own eyes, and there was no king at that time. And so they were just following their own moral standard. They weren't following the Bible during this time. So during this time, there were... the tribe of Dan was looking for a place to live. And so they sent out 5 spies. And the 5 spies, as they were traveling around, scanning out a place where they could take over the territory, they stumbled upon Micah's house. And when they bumped into him, let me just backtrack here. During this time, there's actually a Levite. He has no home. So this Levite has no place to live, and he's wandering around, and he bumps into Micah, and Micah says, "Hey, I got this idol here. Why don't you become a priest?" Because the Levites were often priests. So he says, "You become my priest. I'll pay you wages. I'll give you clothes. I'll give you shelter." And the Levite immediately agrees and says, "Yes, this is a wonderful idea." So that is when the tribe of Dan sends out their 5 spies. And as the spies look around, they come across Micah's house where this Levite lives, and when they talked to the Levite, he explained that basically he was a priest for hire, and so the tribe asks, "Oh, will we be blessed on this mission?" And he says they will. And so the tribe, or the 5 spies, go back to the tribe and says, "Hey, our mission's blessed. We found a different place that's going to be awesome to live." And so they send out 600 men, warriors, who are going to take over the place. And so on their way, the place is not Micah's house, by the way. It's a different place that they had found. And on their way, they stop by at Micah's place because they want to steal the idol that this Levite is looking after. And because they had seen all this, expensive silver. And so when Micah confronts them as they're stealing, they say, "Here's a promotion. Instead of being the priest of just one family, why don't you become the priest of our whole tribe?" And so hearing this upgraded offer, he immediately accepts. And so the Levite heads out with the tribe of Dan. And when Micah discovers that his idol and priest are missing, he runs after them, but they threaten to kill him, so he flees. And so eventually these men come to a city. It's totally isolated, and the city didn't have dealings with people around, so no one would come to their aid. And so the people of Dan, they burn down the city, they kill the people by the sword, and then they build a brand new city, and that city was named Dan, and that's where the Danites lived. And then they took that idol, they set it up in the city of Dan, and they made that Levite their priest. He was going to be their priest forever, and his sons were going to be priests after him. Now, this man, known as the Levite, we actually find out who he is at the end. So in Judges 18:30, we find out that the people of Dan, the man's name was actually Jonathan. He actually has the same name as mine, and he was Moses' grandson. And so, unfortunately, Moses was this awesome man of God, and here his grandson is now the priest to a false god, and he had fallen away. And it's a really sad story to see just how quickly things had fallen apart. But I don't want to leave so much on a sad note. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, it says, talking about a different story in the Old Testament, but I think it applies. It says, "Now these things happened to them as an example, but they were written down for our instruction, on whom the end of the ages has come. Therefore, let anyone who thinks he stands take heed, lest he fall. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide a way of escape that you may be able to endure it." So this is not a hopeless thing at all. God has provided always ways of escapes and ways to continue to follow him. So God saw it beneficial and fit that he would write down these stories of people who fell away so that they could be lessons to us. And that is what I wanted for tonight, to provide some reminders that of people who have fallen away, to remind us that we need to stay strong and keep our relationship with Jesus continually growing and deepening. And and so just to be careful, but to put our trust in God. And so even though the danger is real, I want to encourage you guys to be strong, to keep improving your relationship with Christ, as I said, to keep the faith and to pass it on even to others. Let it multiply through you. And I know that we can all be overcomers. In Romans chapter 8, and I'll end with this, it says, "Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or danger or sword? As it is written, for your sake we are being killed all the day long. We are regarded as sheep to be slaughtered. No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. For I am sure that neither death nor life nor angels nor rulers nor things present nor things to come, nor powers nor height nor depth nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of Christ Jesus our Lord. And so, yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. So let's close in prayer. God, I thank you so much for the privilege that we all have of knowing you, of living in a country where Bibles are plentiful and where there's so many Christians. And even now when we're not able to gather together at churches, that there are still so many Christians that we can meet with, even this youth group being online, things like that. And so I just thank you so much for this opportunity to know you. And I pray that we would continue to be in a right relationship with you for the rest of our lives, and that we would not fall asleep at the wheel, that we would continue to be diligent and work on that relationship, just like every relationship needs work. And so I thank you so much for your love, and that you keep us safely in your arms. And I pray a blessing on all the youth listening and those who might be watching later. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jonathan, for that word.
You bet. All right. So I'm going to move this over to Aaron, and I have to load up the video challenges unless you just had an idea off the top of your head.
I don't have an idea off the top of my head necessarily, but yeah,
Okay.
we'll pick a new challenge for the video challenge this week. We really enjoyed your guys' video submissions this week. Thanks for sending those. And it's kind of a fun way we get to interact back and forth through our creativity and making these videos. And I had fun
Yes.
making my video myself. And yeah.
Yeah. So, and I will be updating this list because we're starting to run out of ideas.
Yeah.
So I need to add a bunch more. So I'm going to just show that to Aaron. He's going to take a look at it. And we will be posting later tonight, hopefully. If we don't do it right away, we tend to forget. So we'll post what the video challenge is. And again, just a reminder, 20 seconds or less. And you guys have all been doing fantastic at that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use the theme of my video this week as my inspiration for picking off of Jonathan's list here. And I'm going to pick throw a standard size piece of paper into a basket. The most spectacular throw will win. So
Okay.
be creative as you want with this. All you need, standard size piece of paper. And even you put that in there, it's like, oh, they could have took like poster paper. Nope, standard size piece of paper.
Very specific.
Get it in the basket in the most creative way you can.
Yeah.
So I already have some ideas popping into my head. So
Well, I actually feel this is going to be unfair because you have had throwing practice already this
I
week.
guess so, hey?
None of us have. And so, I don't know. This is rigged. But, yeah. It'll be
and
exciting.
as a judge, I'll be able to feel some of your pain if, let's say, you're outside and I know, the wind was affecting my throw so much.
Yes,
so you guys are
right.
paper. I'll know your pain if you're, throwing outside or something. So
I actually have a lot of fans for work. I
Oh,
need
yes.
a lot of fans. I'm going to make all the trees blowing in the wind,
Yeah.
but it'll be perfectly calm and my throw will just be spectacular. It'll be faked.
There you go.
I probably won't do that, guys. I just told you about it. All right. So glad that we could meet with you guys and have a wonderful week. We look forward to seeing your video challenges.
See you
Until next
week.
time.
Bye.